'Cause it's yo-ho, but we don't say ho.
Salutations, sloop lovers. Automatic here for Automatic Games. Thanks for joining me for this, the 8th installment of our Decisive Blunders series. This particular episode pits the Fancy Lad against another sloop. The prime distinction being the opposing sloop is crewed by 2 men, whereas the Dainty Taint is only crewed by the Fancy Lad himself. Now, our initial engagement was insignificant to me, so much so that I didn't record it. I didn't realize there would be a follow-up. It was long range. They fired the first shot, missed. I returned fire, missed. I think both crews quickly established that our range was ineffective. They continued on towards the nearest outpost, and, well, the Dainty Taint came about because we gave up our innocence in Sea of Thieves a long time ago. We used rocks and wind to our benefit to try to establish some concealment on approach. But I think in doing so, we gave them enough time to sell whatever treasure they had, if they had any. After all, they fired the first shot. But that could be a misnomer. Why else would they go to an outpost? Shopping spree? Or to sell stuff? As we close in, we go ahead and reef the sails to buy us more time to put shots on target. That said, this is a sloop, and whether it's in motion or stationary, it's the hardest ship to hit just by nature of its small size. In fact, it takes until our third attempt before we finally connect. And even when we find a sweet spot, subsequent shots are hit or miss. And of the ones that hit, many of them seem to be on the upper deck. Now, of course, when you're firing at an enemy ship, you want those holes to do the most work for you. And that means under the water line or at the water line. Those upper deck shots, they're going to let a little water in. But until the ship really starts to sag in the sea, they're not going to be that efficient for you. On the other hand, this sloop is doing nothing. They're not trying to raise anchor, maneuver. I don't see anybody on the deck. And this lends to the notion that, they've sold their treasure and maybe they're getting offline. A little demoralizing, but target practice is good. I mean, I'm all for PvP for the sake of experience, to be honest, because it's good to be experienced when you need PvP. Now, as you can see, they're going down by the stern, but we need to ascertain if they had any treasure and see about the condition of their crew. So Fancy Lad's going to fire himself ashore. There's no treasure, and all I hear of their crew is one of them saying he's going to a mermaid. And that's all we see of them. Until 10-15 minutes later, when they reappear, this time flying a skull and crossbones flag. Now look at this guy come up to the bow of their ship. And he's right off the edge, which I shouldn't laugh at because I've done the same thing, but inopportune moment. But maybe it was opportune, because I'm about to fire, and they anchored, which I believe caused me to miss there. Now, he anchored probably to allow his friend to get back aboard ship. But in anchoring, he has deprived himself of the capability of swiveling his ship, thus keeping his cannon on me. To be honest, in retrospect, I probably should have taken advantage of this situation. They temporarily only had 1 man on deck, and they were anchored. I should have kept the pressure up, but instead I had another idea in my head. Because they were anchored, I thought maybe I'll try to board them. So I go ahead and reef the sails. Truth be told, I should have unfurled them a little more, but it seemed like the right thing to do at the moment. Now it's just a matter of catching their ladder. I go under and I overshoot kind of in that regard, but they don't know that. They apparently think that I could be on their ladder or something. I guess it's a quick, short, psychological hit, which is nothing in comparison to the cold, hard facts that their ship is between me and my own, and they're currently lining up to do as much cannon damage as possible. Meanwhile, I detest mermaids, but I'm desperately looking for one. because I need to get back aboard and deal with that shit. It's not that I have any treasure, and considering how quickly they decided to intercept me, they don't have any treasure either. You just know it, because they didn't have time to stop anywhere. But I guess this fight is not about treasure.
Why all the violence then?
It's about, well, I guess my pride and their lust for revenge, I guess. Now, I have taken some damage. I'm going to set about repairing the lower holes first, because those are the most damaging. I'm going to leave those upper holes so I can get another glance at their ship and figure out what the current layout of the land or of the sea is. Alright, looks good. Looks like I can go back and do some more repairs. However, I probably should not have turned to starboard there. I'm turning short of the rock. They're about to ram me now, and I'm going to leave this damage as is and try to board them. But I don't. And so now I gotta grab the ladder. This is do or die. Because my ship is sinking. And I'm boarding with a blunderbuss, which I think is wise, but they are defending with a blunderbuss, which is also very wise. After all, the sword and the blunderbuss, if that's perfect blunderbuss, they both have that knockback effect. Which you saw used to their advantage there. They were able to send me overboard. And frankly, you're about to see it again. Now, I connected with him, but he didn't go overboard. I call foul. No, I don't know. Could have been a myriad of things. Now, it's time to look at the dainty taint and see if there's any chance. And as you can see, there's not. And so, this is demoralizing. I've been in this situation before. I've lost the battle. There's nothing I can do, right? It would take a miracle. I mean, this is about the time that you just hope that they make one of those decisive blunders that this series is about. Lord knows I've made enough of them in this particular episode. And now they drop anchor. That's right. That's a blunder, even to a novice. And I desperately need some kind of ally. I'm not going to get that, right? No, in fact, I am, and from the most unlikely of sources. Now, this guy's commentary is worth 5 captain's chests to me, so just hear it out.
The fuck is that, dude? Oh my god, no, hell no, dude. Is that a skeleton ship, dude? What is that shit, dude? What the fuck?
This is horror movie stuff.
My nigga just die?
I mean, he doesn't even know I'm aboard, does he?
Oh my god, no. No, what? We have no wood.
They have no wood. They're finished, folks, and so that's fair. We sunk each other, with the help of a skeleton ship. If you like this, and if you are subscribed, I hope to talk to you soon, friends. Thanks for watching.